Hi everyone, it's Robert here. I'm the equipment technician for the Music Society, and I'm going to give you a short workshop on how to tune and change a snare drum head. It's pretty simple, it doesn't take too long, but as with everything, it does take a fair bit of practice to get perfect, but hopefully this should be a good first guide to it. In order to change a snare drum head, we're going to need three things. We're going to need a new snare drum head, a drum key, and also later on a pair of drumsticks will be very useful. So to start with, we're going to go around all of the tension rods on the snare drum that cause the pitch to increase, and loosen them slowly. So we're not going to take the tension off one of them completely and go to the next one. We'll take some of the tension off and then move to the next one, take some of it off, just so that we don't cause any damage to the rim of the drum from keeping too much tension in one part of the rim and not enough in the other part. So now the head is pretty much completely slack and you can kind of feel the rim moving. So now it's safe just to take the tension off a single rod completely and then unscrew the rest of it by finger. And we'll repeat this for all the lugs. You can actually speed this up slightly by undoing it most of the way with one hand with the key and then finishing off with the other hand. Now that all of the tension rods are out of the lugs, we can lift the drum head off, hopefully not get any of the lugs on the floor, the tension rods, sorry, and we can just take the other head away. So in order to tell when you need to change your drum head, you can first of all look for the condition. It might be quite discoloured from all the stick beatings that it's had, but also sometimes there'll be dents in the surface of it, and also sometimes kind of the head will curve inwards, and that's a good indication that you need to change your head. So we're going to do away with this one and pick our nice shiny new head, and we'll just lay that down on top like so. Just try and make sure it's seated evenly, and then put the snare drum down the brim over it. So now we can go around and tighten up all of the lugs. We want to try and make sure that when we get to the bottom, it's not giving any tension to the head just yet. Normally you can do it to what's called finger tight, which is where you just use your finger to get the screw in as far as you can get it. But these lugs are quite stiff, so it's not very easy to do with your fingers. Right, so now we've got the head back on, but as it stands, the head is not tight. Because first of all, what we're going to do is flip the snare drum over and tune the bottom head first. So the bottom head is called the Resonant Head or the Reso Head, and you can see the snare wires running across it, which is what gives the snare drum its distinctive sound. So first of all, what we want to do is take a drumstick, and in order to stop the snares vibrating against the head for now, we're going to take the drum kit and slide it underneath, the drumstick, sorry, slide it underneath, and then kind of hook each end of the drumstick onto the rims so that the snare is now seated away from the drum head. And now, with the resonant head, the idea is that we want to make it as tight as possible without choking it up so that it doesn't resonate very well. So we're going to go around, just try and make sure that all the lugs are an equal starting point, so they're not giving any tension, but you can't tighten them any further without them giving tension. Yep, so they're all pretty evenly starting. And you can kind of tell because the head will wrinkle slightly. So if your head's really wrinkled, then it means that some are tight and some are not. But if it's fairly free of like wrinkles and creases, then it should be alright. So we're going to go around the head in a kind of star-shaped pattern. So you'll do one screw, then the one opposite it, and then you'll kind of rotate that opposite shape around the head. So we'll start with this one that's closest to me. I'm going to turn it probably full turn, and then turn the one opposite full turn, and then keep going around. You can already hear it. The pitch is starting to increase quite significantly. Doing this star shape to try and keep the tension even around the head. Because if we go around in a clockwise or anti-clockwise fashion, then it will cause different parts of the head to have different tension to others. So you can hear now the head's starting to get quite choked, but not too choked just yet, so we'll keep going a little bit further. Okay, that's maybe a little bit too choked. Let's go back a bit. So I'm doing some of the looks now. Yeah, maybe that was too much. It's always a learning process. Yeah, that sounds good to me. So we remove our drumstick, and now we're free to turn the drum back over. Now for tuning the batter head, the head that we hit, we're going to take the snare off, so the little lever at the side, have it so that it's loose. So it's completely dead at the moment. What we want to do is do a similar thing to the bottom head, the reso head. We're just going to make sure that all of the lugs are starting in a fairly similar place. Kind of just feel it as to which are kind of starting to bite and which are not. That's a pretty good starting place. And again, we're going to go around that kind of star-shaped pattern, and we'll take it up half a turn each time. So already it starts got more of a tone to it. I'll do one more of those. So to me, that's kind of an appropriate pitch to have a snare drum. Now we're going to do what's called fine tuning. I'm going to put the stick down. And this is where we make sure that all the lugs are at the same tension as each other. And this will let the skin ring more truly, resonate more, and get rid of these weird overtones that you might be able to hear. So to start with, we're going to go around and listen to all the lugs, and try and listen to the differences in pitch between them. Try and find the highest one. So you can hear this one sounds higher. This one sounds even higher. I think this one's even higher. That one's lower. That one's definitely lower. That one's just slightly lower. Again, lower. Yeah, so we found our lug. This is the lug that we're going to be using. Now we're going to try and tune all the other lugs around to this lug. So this is where we're going to start. So again, we're going to go in that similar star-shaped fashion, except this is always the lug that we're going to reference to. So still slightly lower. Slightly too far there. So you can hear they're pretty much in tune now. So now we'll pick this one. And then go back to run to this one. And now you can hear the snares much more focused, and it rings without many overtones. And we can put the snare back on. And in terms of adjusting the snare to the right sensitivity, if you have it too soft, the snare just won't activate. Let's bring it back up slowly. Oh no, what's happened? Slightly starting to come back now. But now I've gone too far, and the snare is actually choking the bottom head. So that's really choked. I'll just try and go as far as I can to the point. So let's go slightly back down and just trying to find a nice point where you get enough sensitivity with the quiet hits. See how that really quiet note is activating the snare. take it a bit tighter, it won't. So it needs to be a bit looser than that. That's quite nice. And there you have it. That's quite a well-tuned snare. Obviously, it might take a while. I think the hardest part is getting the lugs to sit with each other nicely. So that's actually, but it won't take many tries. To get it sounding nice. Also, you can have it tuned at different pitches, but again, when you found a pitch that you like, try and make sure that all the lugs are at the same tension, and just by listening with your ear, trying to hear the overtones. But yeah, there you have it. Thank you for listening, and I hope that has been useful for you.